Hey, welcome to the Zack podcast. This is episode 1. My guest today is Donovan Beard. We had some camera malfunctions. The interview was cut short. I'd like to have Donovan back on and finish the podcast eventually. So we'll see where that goes. See how this does, and I hope you enjoy it. Start this out. So we'll just start out by saying, Donovan,
yo,
thank you for being my first guest.
What up?
Even though I still don't have a name for this yet, but by the time it comes out, I will have.
We're going to have something.
So,
thank you for having me, man. Real good pleasure. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
And I'm glad to have you on for sure. I guess I've known you for 2 years now. 2019, we started coming up here.
Yes, sir.
You were amateur at that point.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And was it was this year you turned? Or into last year?
Around November.
November
last year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you just had your last fight, and you're 5-0 now.
5-0. 5-0. Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good start.
Man, look, it's a blessing. All praise be the Most High. You know, we just working hard, trying to make sure we get our name in the door for being recognized as one of those top gyms, from one of those highly metropolitan areas, you know what I'm saying? Like California, New York, and Florida. Like, why can't it be somewhere from Hot Springs, Arkansas, that's doing it just as big as those guys?
Yeah.
Why can't it be us?
Well, heck, there's no reason it can't be for sure with the skill that we have in this gym. Between you and Chauncey and Brennan and I don't know much about Brennan as far as how long he's been in it, but I know he's pro for 3 fights now.
Yeah, he's the second pro fight.
So he's kind of up and coming, and
yeah.
We definitely got coach, and we've got people in here.
He's been doing it for like shit. Brennan is 21. He's been doing it since he was like 13, 14.
Okay.
Boxing and kickboxing.
Okay, so he started out doing that, boxing and kickboxing. Okay.
Yeah, early.
Well, what about you? When did, first off, what made you start wanting to get into MMA?
Well, I'm about to say, man, I've been fighting all my life. All my life I had to fight. No, but what made me start, I was playing UFC. Well, my brother, who was my roommate at the time, he had bought a punching bag that had a speed bag attached to it. Mm. So we would always be messing with that and everything. I had a video game on Reserved UFC. EA Sports UFC. That's when Alexander Gustafsson and John Jones was on the case at the time. So I had bought that, and I was playing on the creative player mode, trying to advance my career for my character. So as I was sitting there playing the game, smoking a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, those guys, they wearing green screen suits, right? And not all of them are the exact actors or people from the UFC that's reenacting all those moves. So if none of those, most of those people that aren't can do all of those things, why the fuck can I do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
if actors can do it, why can't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Like regular people just like me and you, you know, they ain't even world-renowned martial artists like those guys
like
are.
UFC. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would do something, and I look at from the feet all the way up to how they would have their head up or hands or whatever. Like, play it. Go run to the bag, try it real quick, make sure I'm doing it right as I'm looking at the game. I even went as far as taking the whole game because I had a TV in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
I would set up my stuff right there by the TV, right next to the excuse me, the acid reflux will get you. That damn punching bag. So I would do the moves on the game and do the moves on the bag and switch back simultaneously until I got it down to where I really was satisfied with how I did it. And then a guy that was our neighbor, Lex, shout out to my guy Luther, he was telling me all about it, and I'm like looking at dude, I'm like, you a street dude, you ain't doing no damn martial arts, you ain't doing no MMA, what the hell? So little did I know he was right after listening to another person and following through with that individual coming up here 3 years ago in May. And Luther told me about this when I was 24, 25 years old. I'm 31 now. Mm-hmm. I would have had like 7 years in the game right now. But I'm just going to take what the cards God dealt me and just run with how I found out at 27. And I'm going to keep that same energy whenever I was 24 into now, you know, so I can go further. And ever since the guy that used to train here brought me to this gym 3 years ago, I haven't looked back since. And personally, I thank them both.
So, essentially, you started training off of a video game.
Off of a video game.
And now you're a 5-0 pro fighter.
Yeah.
That's insane, man. If that can be done, I mean, you know, it's all what you set your own limits at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
you're willing to put in the work and you're determined that there's nothing you can't do, you know, and there's a lot to be said by that.
Anything you put your mind to, put your grind to. You know?
That's crazy. I think in your promo for AKA, I think that was kind of mentioned a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting, man. I didn't know to that extent that that's actually how you started training, was just learning.
I was playing the game, and I'm just like, let me try that shit. Basically, that's what it turned into. And I don't know. I always felt like I was weird for doing it, but at the same time, if I knew I was doing it correctly, I knew I didn't feel so bad. And once I was getting the feedback from the stuff that I taught myself, that it was like good, I'm like, oh, I guess I was doing the right thing. Yeah. I didn't even know it. Yeah.
So you said you were on creator fighter mode, right?
Yeah.
So if you picked a fighter, who would you pick? Or did you ever even, like, who was the guy you went to?
The guy that I mostly went to was Anderson Silva, of course. Yeah. That was my first favorite getting into UFC, period. And I would choose John Jones, of course. When I found out he wasn't such a conventional type of guy. But yeah, I see him like, yeah, that's the guy that I want to emulate right there. That's the guy that, because we built damn near the same.
Yeah. And
anybody else I've seen, they just fucking, hella fine muscles and shit. And he just look regular and still beat you up. Yeah. And it's just like, if somebody can be built like him and do that, I know I can do it.
That's something I noticed early on. You know, we watched UFC as kids, but when I started coming here, I was 29 years old or 30, 29.
Whenever.
Yeah, when we first started coming here.
Right.
And I was like, man, there's gonna be some ripped guys in here, and there are. Don't get me wrong, there are. There's a lot of normal-looking guys that tear your head off.
Yeah, man. Like, whenever I first got here, I was amazingly humbled by jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
One of our fighters here, Jose Zuniga, he fights at 145 and sometimes 55. Man, coach looked at me, and I was walking around like 220 pounds at this time. And coach looked at me. He was like, "You roll with him." Mm-hmm. I look at coach. I literally told coach to his face and in front of Jose, I would roll this little dude up. Like, I am bigger than him. Like, well, okay, if that's what you... I'm pretty sure he was thinking in his head, what do you know? I'll fuck you up. Next thing I know, I'm in a... getting tangled up and wrapped up like a damn Christmas present / pretzel and shit. And I'm like, how? Like, I'm bigger than him. How this... And it was at that moment, Donovan respected jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, Jose is definitely like kind of a practitioner of jiu-jitsu. He's slick.
Yeah.
You know, he can... You'll think... Well, I guess this is the name of the game, but he'll really make you believe he's doing one thing, and he'll get you in something completely different.
Like, that's a part of his sneaky ass nature as a damn fighter and practitioner. Because this fool, you think you, like you said, got something going on, and nope.
Yeah.
Literally, you done fell into his trap. Mm-hmm. It's like, how? Look, you know what? Just teach me. That's all I ask you to do.
Yeah.
Don't be like this.
I remember when we first started coming here, we didn't, I think they've kind of changed it up because we have the wrestling now. But I haven't been here in so long, but did the kickboxing used to be on Mondays and Wednesdays?
Yes, it did.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember. So that used to be on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we come a couple Fridays, but we knew it was a lot of like cage work and stuff, and at the time Amelia and I weren't like just fully into being here. We
right,
just kind of testing it out, and I think we were here 3 or 4 weeks, and Coach Dewan said, talked to us, and he said, go spar. He said they told us who to go to that would be controlled.
Exactly.
And I remember my first time sparring with you.
Oh shit!
And
I was a little rambunctious back then. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I really do think that you. I'm obviously you took it easy on me. You obviously.
Oh yeah.
But I do remember one time I was like I got caught, and it's because I had my hands down. It was nothing. It was my fault, and. I was like, I don't ever want to put my hands down again. I wanted them here all the time. You caught me with a right hook, and I felt it.
See what had happened was.
But no, all right. So I was your weight class 185, right? 185. You tried 175?
Yes, I did try to go to 170, but plans
170. Okay.
Yeah, plans didn't go as follow because I decided to take the impatient route to start cutting my weight early, and I started to realize where I went wrong because I started getting sick, and I called the promotion a month out to let them know, like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be eligible to compete in the fight, and they were pressing the issue to the point where they were threatening me with suspension, and I was like, fuck that. Let me go ahead and just let y'all know something off the gate. I ain't running from him, them, anybody you put in front of me. It don't matter who it is. Matter of fact, we can just go ahead and catch weight. Like, look, this just make this simple. 175, we cool with that? Okay. I can have a pound allowance, 176. Okay, I'm fine with that. This fool comes in at 170 on the dot. I'm like, you son of a bitch. You just make me looking all bad and shit. Fuck you, man. But at the same time, I knew that I had to be professional enough to at least try. So with the next attempt that I will go to welterweight, I will make weight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I went back to my old regimen to cut weight before, whenever I first started, it worked for me. But trying to do it Donovan's way, it wasn't gonna work. Eating fried food from Saki Bill, shout out to my sponsor. Man, eating ramen noodles all the damn time, shout out to my sponsor, the Hybrid Kitchen. And yeah, it was just not working. So I had to go back to my roots.
Yeah.
My old girlfriend at the time, she found that formula for me. And I was like blown away on how fast it worked. So I was just like, all right.
Now, what do you mean? Like
it's a
like
2-week
eating?
diet plan.
Okay.
So it's like, well, nah, y'all don't need to know all that. Yeah. Y'all don't need to know all that. Yeah. I ain't gonna tell y'all that.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I was just about to ask. I mean, if there was, now you don't have to answer this. Obviously, don't want to give away any secrets.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, is it mainly just a lot of dieting, or do you try to cut out a lot of water weight right at the end?
It's water weight and dieting mostly. Like anytime that people gotta realize you already working out as it is throughout the day. Excuse me. Man, look, Tom's gonna have to give me a motherfucking sponsorship. Pepsi, somebody next to him. Help me, please. Excuse me. The diet and the water weight is mostly what you gotta take out because you're already working out, as like I said. And if you're working out like you're supposed to, it'll come off. Yeah. But if you're not eating what you're supposed to, it's going to stay on and not come off the way you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they just, oh man, I just ran 5 miles, I did MMA, and I did all this cardio, blah, blah, blah. But motherfucker, you want to eat cheeseburgers, fried chicken, and pizza.
Yeah.
No, it don't work. Ice cream, it don't work like that, fool. Yeah. But hey,
yeah, you just wasted all your energy doing all that.
You know,
if that's what you're gonna eat,
all of it just gone. Get you a grilled chicken salad or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like a smoothie of some sort, something like that.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot to be said. I know, like I said, when we first started coming here, I was 250 when we first started coming here in 2019, and the workouts, and then we started coming here every week or every day, Monday through Friday. It was before we were training aside with Chauncey, and I started dropping the weight. Now I hadn't changed any of my eating, so it was slowly dropping.
Right.
You know, maybe a pound or 2 a week. But then got with Chauncey, started training with him as well, and he gave me a meal plan, and which, crazy enough, because in the summertime, I normally do not eat, except I don't eat lunch and I don't eat breakfast. Normally it's packaged crackers, keep me going throughout the day, and then dinner at night. And I was like, I don't know why. I'm as big as I am. I walk all day, weed eating in this heat, and when I eat dinner, that's the only meal I eat at night. And then with Chauncey, I was eating 5 or 6 times a day. They were small meals, but I was eating 5 or 6 times a day. And dude, the weight just fell off of me, along with training.
Exactly.
And we were training more often then, twice a day on Tuesdays, and technically 3 times a day on Tuesdays, and then twice on Thursdays, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well.
Oh yeah,
so,
I remember them days, man. I come in and you over here getting your sweat in, or we would be leaving and y'all would be coming in. You and Amelia.
But so there's a lot to be said. I mean, I lost that. I got down to 198, and I've kind of blown back up. But that's because I ain't been in here.
I was about to say, man, shit happens. Work got in the way.
52 pounds in just a few months. I mean, that's oh yeah. lost 52 pounds in just a few months.
Man, look,
So-
when your body is cooperative like that, just thank it. And
Yeah. That's why it's been kind of frustrating. I think that probably the most, and this is the craziest thing. I know what to do. I've been in here long enough. I know the moves. I know what movements to make as far as like kickboxing, but cardio wise, my body's just not ready for it, and it's so frustrating. And I know consistency is key. Keep being in here, and I'll eventually get back to where I was. But after that week of just being like dead after every training, just feeling like crap, like just you're not worth anything. It's like, man, I've been training 5 days. I should be back.
like, what
But
the
that's
hell's
not,
going
that's
on?
not how it works, and I know that. But my body is like, no, you just can't do it no more.
Right.
But so it's trying to override that is what's really the mental aspect of it is a thing right now.
It's just as much as mental as it is physically challenging because it's times you don't feel like you want to do it, but you know you have to do it because if you have a fight, you want to prepare the best way you can to not lose in a way that you're going to be not proud of. It's just like, man, I wish I would have done this. I could have done more of this. All these what ifs. And then you just going in there with a whole lot of doubt.
Yeah.
But if you know you did everything right, from your diet to showing up every day to giving it your best every time you come in here, every rep, you ripping punches, kicks, you doing all the techniques correctly and breaking it down step by step to make sure you understand it to the T, then you'll go in there with more confidence than McGregor whenever he was the 145 champ.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Talking to anyone new, getting into it, what would you... Let's see, how do I word this?
I think I know, like...
What is the key thing you would tell someone? The most important thing about being training for a
For a fight or just training in general?
Starting out. Yeah, training, wanting to fight in the future.
Let's see. It would be a few things, but the one thing that popped up in my mind is consistency.
Mm.
Because that in order to make it permanent, to develop muscle memory, to make it second nature, you have to be consistent in your training and with repetition. Because repetition is the mother of learning. And the more you do it, the more you'll develop the muscle memory to make it automatic, just like how we breathe and how we walk. Now, keep in mind, everybody sucks, and everybody sucks at something.
Mm.
Nobody's not good at every single thing right off the bat. It takes time.
Mm.
And you have to develop the patience to understand that everything you do is not going to be right the first time. Like, give yourself time to understand what you're doing, so whenever you do it, it'll just come to you like second nature, and you won't even have to think about it anymore. But consistency would be the best thing that you would need to have, like showing up, staying humble, stay open to learn, remain coachable, and like I said, just being consistent.
That remain coachable thing, that's man, I see it in here with certain people that are here every day too. Well, when I was here every day, I seen it a lot. But when I come in, the times that I do come in now, I still see people, and they may be regulars, but I'm just not here enough to know it now. But Dewan will say something and they want to kind of fight against it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily mouth off, but they're like, oh, I'll do it my way.
Yeah.
And I think you can do that after you get the fundamentals down. I think you can change kind of the way. There's certain ways things have to be done, but I think you can kind of personalize.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, you can make something that you do. Make something that everybody else does unique in your own way.
Yes. But you need to get the fundamentals.
Exactly. Down. So you can understand why it's done that way rather than doing it the way that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, the way that you're comfortable with is completely wrong and it's going to get you hurt. Especially if you're trying to do it in the midst of a fight that you haven't really prepared for to use that technique. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people, they just want to do a lot of kicks, for example. But they don't know how to throw the kick. They don't know when to throw the kick. They don't know how to mask the kick by setting it up with something that is not going to tell on you that the kick is coming. Like, anybody can throw a kick from any position, but it's how you set it up that makes the difference.
Yeah. Now that we have wrestling kind of added in with our program, how much do you think or feel that's affected your game?
Man, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm 6'1". It was pretty tall. It was pretty up there. But now that Kevin Crutchman has arrived at this gym, he's been here for over a year now. It went from standing at my height to reaching the sky as the limit and going beyond that, because we found out the whys behind the actions that we were going for, like single legs, double legs, chain wrestling, scrambling, stuff like that. And now that we've explored the depth behind that the art of wrestling, the level of understanding is going to keep growing.
Yeah. From
that point. Because if you learn something, it's going to permanently be there. Mm-hmm. And also how you learn it. Because if you learn how to tie your shoe, it's going to be that way. You're going to tie your shoe that specific way every time. But then you come to realize there's more ways to tying your shoe. Excuse me. Just like it's more than one way to skin a cat. It's more than one way to throw your jab. It's more than one way to throw a kick. Explore different options to make them fit onto your own repertoire. So, Julie, motherfucking Bruce Lee said, learn everything from whoever, add it to what you do, and discard anything that's not useful to you.
Mm. Yeah. All right, so last subject, last kind of thing I want to ask you about. Your last fight. I don't even want to ask you about it. I kind of just want to tell you what I seen.
Right.
You beat the dog out of that dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how you and him are as far as
I ain't never met the dude. I ain't never talked to him besides the day of the fight. Anytime I ever seen him at any Fort Smith event that I went to and fought for, I ain't never spoke to him. We ain't never been on friendly terms. It ain't no beef or
you just haven't been friends.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't never talked to him like I've talked to the other guys from that gym.
Yeah.
You know.